So before we get started on today's video, I just wanted to take a minute and thank everyone out there for helping us hit 250,000 subscribers here on the channel. Folks, I truly do appreciate all of you. I never dreamed we would ever get this far. 250,000 people is really hard for me to wrap my head around, but thanks to everyone out there who has liked the videos, shared them with your friends, left comments. Thanks to everyone out there who's joined up on our memberships here on the channel, and a special shout out to the Midas Touch Network. I truly appreciate all of you. We're just going to keep this thing rolling, folks, and we are rolling in the middle of the most turbulent election of our lifetimes, and I say that with no fear of being proved wrong. These last few weeks, just since the debate, feels like a year to me. I caught myself earlier saying back in the day and realized I was talking about 2023. That's how crazy things has been here lately, and it just keeps getting crazier. And now that Vice President Kamala Harris is our presumptive nominee, Maga is in full-blown panic mode. But are they coming at us with ideas? Are they coming at us with solutions? Are they coming at us with a way to make things better? No. Andy Oakles here in Tennessee has filed articles of impeachment against Kamala. Yeah, we got to get rid of her before we even start. She hasn't even accepted the nomination yet. A lot of things could change between now and the DNC, but they're going for it. They're trying to get her out of the way now. And it just shows you that at the end of the day, they don't have any new ideas, no new solutions. The only thing they can think to do is go back to their political rhetoric, go back to their political theater, because they want to keep everyone distracted from the fact that Trump is now the oldest candidate in history. And not only is he the oldest candidate in history, his act is ancient. And people are getting so sick and tired of it. And now they realize, you know what? We see a way out of this. We got Vice President Kamala Harris, and she could lead us in to a new era in American politics where we wouldn't have to deal with Trump and his WWE style of rhetoric. This is all a distraction, folks, and this is all them trying to prop up Trump. And I think Jim McGovern nails it in this next clip. Take a look.
An emergency meeting. You heard that right, everybody. This is an emergency. Not an emergency meeting to fix the border, but an emergency meeting to bash Kamala Harris. That's the emergency. Are you kidding me? The emergency is that Donald Trump is losing and they're in a panic. And he's so unpopular that they need a meaningless resolution to try to prop him up. Now, I get why he's unpopular. Maybe they should call on him to step aside, considering how rambling and unfocused and boring he's become. He's the oldest presidential nominee in history. And I'm hearing from a lot of people he should step down.
Now, I would make the argument that not only should Trump drop out, I mean, of course he should drop out, but I don't think he should have ever ran in the first place. I think he should apologize to us for ever running to start with, because we all know the only reason he's really running is to dodge any and all accountability. We all know the only reason he's running is because he only cares about himself. He does not care at all about this country, and he sure as hell doesn't care about our democracy. No matter how many times he tries to stand there and tell you he took a bullet for democracy, no. That happened because of the temperature he turned up in the room. That happened because of the rhetoric that he put out into the world. And so I'm sorry it happened, and I would never condone any political violence at all. But let's face it, the guy that had a flag that said, "Fuck your feelings," he really ain't got room to lecture the rest of us on the temperature in the room. But you can always count on MAGA when they're in panic mode, when they're backed into a corner, they're going to come out uglier than ever. So of course, folks, as we go into this election, you're going to see more racism and more misogyny than you've ever seen. I truly feel for black people in this country. I truly feel for women in this country and what they're going to have to endure between now and November. It's going to get rough. It's already starting to head that way. And I'm sorry to say, but Tim Burchett here in Tennessee will always step up to the park and just make a complete and total fool of himself. So let's let him do it. Here we go.
And said, first off, he said he's going to hire a black female for vice president, and that he just skipped over. What about white females? What about any other group? It just, when you go down that route, you take mediocrity, and that's what they have right now as a vice president.
So are you suggesting she was a DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI hire. He said he was going to hire, and she didn't. Her record is abysmal at best.
Folks, all I really know to say to that is that not everyone in Tennessee is as moronic as Tim Burchett. I'm truly sorry that he's out there speaking on behalf of people here in Tennessee, because he does not represent all of us. We have a whole lot of good voices here in this state who are working really hard to preserve democracy and to fight the good fight for people. And I would just say that Burchett doesn't represent all of us at all. He represents a fringe minority that is called Maga, and they're really loud and they're really obnoxious. But I wonder how people like Byron Donalds feels when he hears Tim Burchett say something like that. I wonder how Tim Scott feels, considering that they didn't get asked to be here I go. Now listen, folks, I made it to 250,000 subscribers, so please don't start asking me for me to step down because I'm stuttering. Okay, we'll just keep moving. I wonder how they feel that they didn't get that job. Trump reached in and got a white guy that was even more extreme than he was to be his running mate. And now that that's not working, he's in full-blown panic mode. The whole MAGA circus right now is doing nothing but panicking. And it's fun to watch. And what's even funnier to me to watch is watching them realize that one day Trump is going to have to debate Kamala if he actually has the guts to show up. And Mayor Pete says what we're all thinking, and that is, yeah, he's scared, folks.
Well, and Donald Trump said today that he does want to debate Vice President Harris, maybe more so than once. One of the issues that
only after backing out of the debate he already agreed to, though, right?
Somehow today he has an issue with doing it with ABC.
Right, but he didn't when he agreed to it in the first place, right? I mean, I think the interesting thing about this is what changed from when he said he was ready to do an ABC debate and when he now says he's not. ABC didn't change. Donald Trump didn't change. But there's a new candidate, and clearly he hesitates to debate her on the exact same terms that he thought
so you think
would
he's
be okay.
Scared to debate her?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Because I think she is going to be so effective, and she's going to lay bare his inability to talk about anything but himself and his past. I think what you'll see is two things that I'm excited for Americans to see. Yes, the contrast, the way, as she laid out very powerfully, she, as a prosecutor who has defended people from people like Donald Trump, is going to remind everybody about that record, but also a contrast in governing records. She's going to be, I think, very effective in reminding Americans that on issue after issue, they already agree with us. They already agree with her and Democrats. Americans agree with Democrats and disagree with Donald Trump on taxes and his agenda of tax cuts for the rich. They agree with Kamala Harris, Democrats, and disagree with Donald Trump on his removal of the right to choose in this country. And gun violence, marriage, you can go on down the list. I think she's very well positioned to remind Americans of that fact.
Yeah, he does not want to debate Kamala Harris, I promise you that. And the people within his circle right now are in panic mode and they're running scared, and that's why we're seeing these articles of impeachment. That's why we're seeing these comments of DEI. They're going to throw out every racist dog whistle while saying all the quiet parts out loud at the same time. They're going to create as much chaos as they can and throw as much shit at the wall and just hope to God that something sticks, because that's all they have at this point in the game. And it's truly sad to watch. But I got a funny clip for you right here. Here's Jesse Waters pretty much summing it up for us. He didn't mean to do this. He fell right into it and summed it up perfectly, which is weird for me to say, but take a look.
They like the fact that this is a young black woman squaring off against an old white guy. They like that she's going to all just talk about abortion. And they like the fact that she was a prosecutor and he's a felon. They like that framing.
Attaboy, Luther, you finally got one right. Yeah, it is. It's going to be an old white dude versus a young black woman. It's going to be a prosecutor versus a felon, and we love that narrative because that narrative is the truth. And that's the narrative. It's not about us pushing that narrative. That's just the way things are, and we're going to keep reminding people of that going forward. We're going to keep reminding people that we have policy on our side, and we have ideas and solutions on our side, and all they have is a worn-out WWE circus act. That's all they have, folks. So this is time for us to get excited. When you see these things happening, don't let it depress you, because what they're saying when they say we're here to file articles of impeachment, they're saying we don't have anything else to offer. When they throw out their racist and misogynistic insults, it's because they don't have anything else to offer. We do. And Kamala Harris is going to be out there. She's going to be talking about those things. She's going to be pushing those policies, and she's going to be reminding people of what it's like to hear a sensible politician speak. And a lot of people are going to gravitate toward that, because I really believe at the end of the day, a whole lot of people are just sick of that same old rhetoric, and they want to see something new. We're going to have a fresh ticket one way or the other on the Democratic side. And think about it. They're doing this before she even became the nominee. If they had any guts whatsoever, they would say, hey, we don't care who it is. We don't care because our ideas are the best. They can't do that. They had to come after her before she even got the nomination. They had to do it because they got nothing left. And that in itself should just excite everyone. This is going to be a good year, folks. Let's just stay focused, keep our eyes on democracy, and let's beat this circus act once and for all.